Leticia. It's not the first time, right? Isn't the first time, I guess.
Yes, with you. I
Oh, yeah.
have others conversations.
Great.
Yeah,
So
me
I'm going to explain a little bit about talk about this meeting, so we can have a record of this. These conversations, they are not classes. So I'm not here to teach you English. I'm not going to correct you. I'm not going to bring you any grammar, anything as most people expect, but you're going to learn a lot by practicing your conversation. So we have a topic, and today's topic is ethical dilemmas in science and technology. And we also have 10 questions prepared by the host, Gabi Bonaldi. She is not here, unfortunately, but I'm here covering her up. And we have 10 questions. So I'm going to paste those questions in here, but you can also check the questions in our planner, talktalk.com.br/planner. And you can prepare yourself before the meeting to get to know what we are going to talk about. And we always start with a presentation. Why is it important to present yourself? Because every single time in Portuguese, English, Italian, Spanish, Mandarin, whatever the language, you are going to present yourself. This is the most common topic you're going to talk about with other people, especially the people you meet at first. So, Leticia, can you present yourself first?
Oh, yes. Good morning, guys. My name is Leticia. I am 20. I live in Barueri, São Paulo. I studied chemistry at the college, and I have been here in Talk and Talk since April, I think, to improve my English and practice my skills of communication. And that's it.
Very good. Good to meet you. And what about you, Yasmin?
Hi everyone, I'm Yasmin. I'm 18. I'm from São Paulo, capital. I have a cat, and I'm here in Talk and Talk to improve my English.
Great. And I'm Philip. Tomorrow we are going to celebrate 7 years of the platform. I started this as a project, and it turned out to be a company nowadays, a platform. And I'm very excited and very happy tomorrow. And every Wednesday now, at least until the end of the year, we're going to have free English conversations. People, they do not have to have any subscription to get access or to book. So it's going to be for free, as we started 7 years ago. Everything we're going to talk about in here, it's in English. Please respect each other's opinion. We are not here to prove ourselves. We're not here to be correct, to be right. We are here to develop our communication skills and to have a good time. Okay. I guess Ricardo has just arrived. I don't know. Can you hear me, Ricardo?
Yeah, as well. Good
Yeah.
day, my friends, and Leticia, Yasmin too.
Great. So, Ricardo, we are going to talk about ethical dilemmas in science and technology. Gabi Bonaldi has prepared the questions, but she had something at work that she couldn't attend and host this meeting. So I'm going to ask directly the first question so we can warm up and we can start discussing, okay? And the very first question is, what ethical considerations should scientists and technologists keep in mind when conducting research or developing new technologies? So what should they keep in mind, be careful about when developing researches around new technologies? And I'm going to start with Ricardo. Please go ahead, and then we keep going.
Okay. Well, it's necessary the scientists and technologists keep in mind all kinds of things considerations about ethical and the health concerns. So sometimes when you talk about researches, you could you don't talk specific, but I consider that ethical should guide all scientists and technologists, because sometimes you lead with lives, human lives, or even animals too. So sometimes it's not possible to predict all kind of impacts you this new technology or research you could reach. So in this case, sometimes it's a little anxiety, because, for example, a specific scientist is creating a new medicine, and wow, this medicine have a lot of how do you say, perspectives, great perspectives. For example, cure some disease or something like that. But the security is so important because, well, someone used to say that the difference between the medicine and the poison is the quantity, for example. So a lot of people use it to talk about against this kind of research, because normally a medicine takes 10 years to release, but it's necessary to pass for a lot of security protocols. So in this case, it's necessary to have a lot of attention in this topic. That's it.
Yes. And this is a very hard question to discuss, and a very deep conversation.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to talk about even in our native language. And that's the idea when we bring topics like this, because usually in a private class or in a classroom, in a school, in an English school, you're going to have topics like job, travel, or things like that, So your favorite food, hobbies. And here on Talk and Talk, we are talking about ethical considerations around technology and science. So, Leticia, what's your point of view on this matter?
So I think that people who create technologies must always remember that their creations are moved to humans, and humans have complexities that we don't find in machines. And for example, some technologies, artificial intelligence, are reproducing behaviors and preferences because they are created for humans, by humans. And this is complicated because can reinforce some social problems. And I think the main point is that the complexity of the technology is different from our complexities as humans. And sometimes these researchers, I don't know, forgot this. And for me, it's a problem.
Yeah, and it's a very good one that you brought this up, because sometimes we just forget that we have bias when we do something, when we communicate, when we research, and we test. So we need to be aware, and especially the next question that we're going to talk about AI. humans are part of the problem itself when it regarding research and technology and things like that. So, Yasmin, what do you think? Do you, Ricardo, do you have a different opinion about ethical considerations around this research? How do you see this?
I agree with all of you. Like when we think in ethical considerations, it's important to developers and scientists keep in mind the all of the impacts they can cause. So it's important to think in 1 minute, please.
No problem. This is real life conversation. And that's how we learn, because it's out of the topic somehow, but imagine you were speaking another language and there are people calling you back, or they are, making some noise. That's real life, and this is something schools, they cannot predict or share or bring the experience. So Yasmin, keep going, no problem.
Okay, so it's important to keep in mind all of the process and the actions they will take. So think in don't hurt any people involved in the process, during the process and after too. So when we think in the research, for example, they can cause, how can I say that? They can cause, they can hurt animals, for example. So it's important to do researches and develop technologies in a way that not hurt anyone involved.
Yeah, because when we are testing out, yeah, I guess, in my opinion, there are some considerations we should keep in mind about new tech. That is the harm we're gonna bring to not just humans, but to all the nature, animals or whatever, like everything that is in the wild ecosystem. And sometimes we are testing on small animals, and we do not care about it. Yeah, and it's really hard, especially in the system we are living in. When you buy things on the supermarket, it's complicated. Being really honest, I do not check if it's tested on animals or not, the products. So I should, but sometimes I just forget it. Just forget it. Do people check those things when you are consuming, when you are buying products, services? Do you check the company's behavior, the background, how they do things, how they do researches? Leticia, do you check that? Do you search on internet or something about the companies you services or buy products?
For me, when I consume like cosmetician products, I always look if it's I don't know how to say this, but se são testados em animais, né? So for
Yeah,
me,
if it's tested. Do you check that often or sometimes?
para vocês também tá travando, que o Felipe tá falando?
I guess it's my internet. Yeah, eu acho que é minha internet que tá dando uma
The audios, that's okay. Just the image is not coordinated to the lips with the.
Yeah, it's not lip syncing.
Yeah.
So Ricardo, do you check when you buy things, you use services, do you check the company's behavior, background about researches, new technology, how they do this or that?
Not really. Not really. But for the hand, I don't buy many cosmetical products, but for example, shampoo, I don't use so much, but sometimes I buy. But well, I read and watched some news about this situation, and well, there are a lot of different products, not so cosmetic, but medicines and others things. Sometimes you don't wonder, but when this guy developed this kind of product, it's possible to use the animals to testing. So depends on the situation, but I'm not sure. Right? For example, if someone use, for example, dogs or cats, it's not ethical. A lot of people don't accept. But if you use another kinds of animals, for example, hats, so it's more acceptable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly an expert, but well, according to some guy that I watched on news, he told that it's possible to create how do you say, a model on a computer, and it's possible practically make any kind of tests, but it's very expensive. So in this case, the guys prefer using animals. For the other hand, it's a debate. So I believe that's right. That's true. Not right. That's true. Another scientist tell you that it's not possible to predict it so well using a computer model than, for example, using animals. It's more precise when you use this kind of tests in animals, no? Because, for example, skin from pig is similar to human. So in this case, when you use the pig, it's more precise than, for example, a computer model.
Yeah, and poor animals. I have been thinking about my food habit, because that's pretty much what we have been doing. And we have a host, Gabriele Galterio. She she is a PhD student about food, and she has been doing a great job around it. And I guess that's the future, especially when climate change. We are not going to have access to cosmetics or food or products as we have now. And I mean, in 20 years, it's going to completely change because of the ecosystem, the environment. So yeah, things like that. But let's go to question number 2 about AI. And I want to ask you, Leticia, how do advancements in AI raise ethical concerns, particularly in terms of privacy bias and automation of jobs? As you mentioned before, the bias, but how do you see the advancements in AI regarding ethical concerns?
So I think that artificial intelligence is something that can be present in all places all the time, and this kind of omnipresence is the main reason to this concern, and is the main reason to replace humans and automation jobs. And I think all the subject of technology involved a paradox, because technology can at the same time take care of and weaken people's privacy, for example. And I think that's the reason for this concern, because not we can't I don't know ter uma previsão in how these technologies will influence in our lives, and that's it. It's complicated.
Yeah, very complicated, not easy topic, but I believe it's something we need to discuss and to share our ideas, right? And this is also something good for, like, not just about English, but our opinion and things that we are going to discuss in an event, at our jobs, family reunion, or something like that. That's always a good topic to discuss when it comes to AI. It's beyond the hype, so people are talking about a lot. And you, Ricardo, how do you see AI raising or not raising ethical concerns on people?
I believe the problem is different because, well, you on the question tell about the jobs. I don't know. It's a tough question to discuss because, for other hand, it's inevitable. It's not possible to stop the advance from the AI or any kind of automation, robots, and this stuff. So I believe that's, well, these guys normally earning a lot of money. So, for example, Tesla is from Elon Musk, and he's one of the most, or the richest person of the world. So in this case, maybe it's possible to prevent some impact, creating schools or platforms where it's possible to people learn new things, new technology, or something like that. Is hard because is problem for governments. Yeah, I consider this thing, but for the hand, I think, for example, Henry Ford. I watched some and read some things about Henry Ford. Henry Ford have this idea and improve the lives from your employers, because if this employer have money, have some conditions, this guy could be a person that buy the cars, and is a kind of advertisement. Oh, this guy using a car, he work on Ford company and he use cars too. So in this kind is a kind of a commercial thing or advertisement about this situation. So I believe that I watch a news that if the cars is autonomous cars, is necessary just 20% of the number of the vehicles on our world. Né? So in this case, decrease 8% of the current necessity, né? Driving cars and the other things. There are a lot of impact, né? Because drivers loses your jobs and the another things. Né? Sometimes, for example, it's not possible to wonder. But for example, the company that creates or made traffic lights, painting on the I forgot the faixa de pedestrian, the name.
The crosswalk.
Crosswalk, or for example, so it's not possible to predict any kind of impacts. This guy produced the painting, or even he paints the cross walking. So this guy lose your job too. So it's hard to think. I thinking I have a lot of concerns about this topic, including me that work on technology field. I'm not sure if you possible keep my job, because, for example, there are a lot of different situations inside my area. For example, I'm working on an interface between the vendor and the client. So if you create some kind of intelligence artificial and other things, possibly I could lose my job too. So, and I work on technology too, but for example, nowadays, artificial intelligence is possible to produce web codes like HTML or PHP or something. So it's just the beginning, but I'm not sure. In 10 days, 10 years on the future, it's not possible to predict how good level the intelligence artificial will reach. So it's hard.
Yeah, and here on Talk and Talk, we are using AI, and it has already taken jobs. It has taken my job in some situations, but I still need to manage AI. So, especially some questions, some topics, we are using AI to create them instead of a human creating themselves the questions. It is good, and at the same time it's bad because you lose creativity. For myself, it's been like after 7 years creating questions every single day, mostly, I got tired of that. So I achieved what I wanted to achieve. But for people who are in the process of developing fluency, if they are using AI, they need to be aware of what they might lose and what they might gain about it. So I guess the concern, especially ethical concerns, it comes from the learning process. If you want to learn, then you need to understand about yourself, what you do that is going to help you to learn or not. So, and about jobs, unfortunately, capitalism doesn't care about your job. It doesn't care at all about my job. And I'm a business person. So imagine, and I'm talking about people who performs ordinary jobs, like regular jobs that can easily be changed or shifted from human to a robot, So it's complicated. Yasmin, what you have in your mind? I don't know.
Talking more about the ethical, I don't know, but I think isn't a specific law about using artificial intelligence in Brazil. I don't know about other countries, but when we think about the use AI in an ethical visibility, we don't have a law specifically. I remember Volkswagen did a television commercial using Elicitina image, and this caused so many discussions in the internet about this because they use the image of Elicitina using artificial intelligence, and her didn't I concurred with this because their her are not alive. So was the family of her family um, uh, that do that allow with this, but this make me think about um, I don't know how to say this, but até onde vai the use of artificial intelligence. This can disrespect some individual things. Like we didn't know if Elisa will concur with this commercial, and this image of her has used it. So this make me think about in Brazil we don't have a specific law about uh, privacy and uh, real uses of artificial intelligence, and this can be so hard for jobs and for privacy lives. And I think is all.
Yeah, I'm really, I do think we are gonna live like a Black Mirror in real life, you know? Have you watched it, Black Mirror?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's nice.
it's nice,
I
but it's
recently,
like,
I watched it recently. Have a lot of famous, but I just last month I watched it.
yeah. I didn't watch the last season, and just because of being scared of the emotions within, you know. I don't know. I do not like much horror movies, though Black Mirror is not about horror movies, but it brings me an emotion that I do not like much, you know, to feel. And I guess, yeah, my connection is not stable. Um, and as Yasmin was saying about balancing things in society, that's question number 3. How can society balance the benefits of data collection and surveillance with the protection of individual privacy? And I don't know if you have heard about the drugstores that are keeping our data for the past 15 years, and they are selling that to the health insurances. So basically, health insurance can charge you based on things you buy on drugstores for the past decades, you know. And I submitted myself to delete my data from the most famous drugstores, and it was not easy to do that. There's like a bureaucracy around it. So, but when you need to pay, they ask your ID. to get discounts, and it's a fake discount, by the way. So, Leticia, how do you think society can balance the benefits of data collection and the protection of privacy for people?
I don't know. I think all people say that, but I think supervising how these tools are used and what are the reasons for do it. And I think that it can be interesting if people who are not involved directly with technology supervising the use of technology, because I think these people who are excluded of technology world can see these uses with more sensibility and be more attention to these ethical problems and like privacy, because sometimes the people who create technology are only concerned about his job and how much money he will receive for this. So I think we need to involve more people in this field, because we will have more backgrounds and perspectives to deal with this, not only people involved with technology.
Yes, I guess we need to, in a nutshell, we need to discuss about that, right? So if we're not talking about that, then it's going to be difficult to understand the bias that we have been talking about, because I do think data, like that documentary on Netflix about social media and the data use and everything. I guess it's important because it brings it makes our lives easier in terms of like we are always trying to have things faster, right, in our hands. So for example, iFood, they already know what is my food taste, so they can predict what I want to eat this Friday on lunch. So at lunch, actually. But you know how crazy it is if they know that. What else they can predict? Which informations they have? They can sell that information to health insurance. Based on my diet, health insurance can predict that in 10 years I'm going to have a heart disease. So they are not going to charge me 1,000. They are going to charge me 10,000 because of my food habit. But are they going to charge me less if I have a healthy diet based on my information, the information I send, I let them know? Don't think so, because of capitalism, you know. We are on Talk and Talk, we do not do that because it's just basically me. But when you book an immersion, I could understand what about your routine, what are the time that you can attend the meetings. So if you're coming to the 8 a.m. meeting, then there's more than 8 a.m. like your routine around the morning. And what else can I have of information from this data? You know, the meaning around the information. Ricardo, does it scare you thinking about data collection and protection of individual privacy?
I believe that's important. The privacy is important, so important. A lot of people became crazy, have for example, the artist is another person face a lot of problems because, well, sometimes you just wanted to, I don't know, became naked on your house or do, I don't know, it just you wanted to be yourself. So in your place, in a secure place, and it's important to mental health. So, and when you have your life invaded by things like that, it's not possible to predict how this person reacts. Sometimes
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I could go on but for the hand, sometimes the people, particular humans, they, for example, someone can destroy the woman's life when you send photos or intimate things. So a lot of women can't resist uh, when by in case of these situations like that. So it's really really important, and the on Brazil is so different. The people
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Ah, this guy is an artist. They don't have this right. Okay, I could request an autograph in any kind of situation or local or place. In Europe and the United States, there are too, but it's different. It's different. So it sounds like this guy don't don't be a human. So
Yeah.
sometimes, for example, I watch a news on about, I forgot the name of the famous guys, the singer in Brazil, Safadão. Sometimes the guy was just working and don't have, for
Privacy.
example, for us, I have some pleasure. I just wanted to go in the mall and okay, I just wanted to look for the mirror and maybe buy something. It's simple things, but it's really important sometimes. Or just want, okay, I just want to go to the beach and look at the sea. And some guys like that, it's not possible because a lot of people could be around of this guy and they request some things, photos and the other things. And sometimes it's hard because this guy, it's not possible to avoid situations like that because nowadays everyone have a cell phone, and so and they look this guy and they started to make a film and they make a films and
Yeah.
well, if this guy have I don't know, uh, some attitude, sometimes it's not exactly a bad attitude, but other people interpret this attitude like a terrible thing, and this guy could be cancelled. So
Or even
it's
killed
hard.
sometimes.
What?
Yeah. Or even killed. I remember once.
Yeah.
Yeah. From time to time, we see news about people that were killed by the public because of fake news, for example, or something like that. I believe that uh, as human, we as a race, we are going to kill ourselves somehow. Not entirely, but we are already doing that from time to time. And I guess communication is going to be the key, and that's why it's so important to learn other languages, not just English, Spanish, Italian, French, German, Mandarin, Japanese, or whatever the language, Tupi Guarani, if you want to. This communication is the key, for the future. Yasmin, what do you think about your data and your protection as individual?
When you say about the use, the ideas from drugstore, I have think, oh my God, this is so crazy. Our data is literally using for so many locals, and we didn't even know for what, or for what, and this is so crazy, and I can't think how to balance this. For me, the secret should be talking about this in terms of privacy in sites, but no one reads that. I don't read that, for example. So I don't know how to balance this. I think the thing that can be do for resolve this can be talking about this in schools and informate the people about the uses this use from data in everywhere in every site we use, every place we go. So I think it's important to talk about this.
Yeah, it's really, really important. It's really important. I don't remember if I mentioned before. I know Ricardo has already applied, but Leticia and Yasmin, please, if you want to, please do apply for the host program we have on Talk and Talk. And why is that? Because we're going to have a meeting for everyone to explain everything about being a host. And the most important is that bringing and raising awareness around topics like this. We are not here because of English anymore. It's not about the language itself, but raising awareness around topics that all of you think is important. For example, Gabi Bonaldi, she understood, she wanted to talk about research around technology and science and ethical dilemmas, So I guess that's what makes Talk and Talk so interesting, because it's not just about what Talk and Talk wants. It's about what each person as a student wants to develop. So if you prepare a topic, you can learn about the topic, because you're going to spend like 10, 15 minutes searching on internet videos or whatever. And then you can use ChatGPT to bring you the questions, and you try to answer mentally by yourself, or even to create expressions on ChatGPT to use them to learn more vocabulary. So the meeting at 6 a.m., I brought a topic about shifting responsibilities. And then there's an expression that it says, pass the buck, pass the buck. It means you're putting your responsibility in someone else's. It's like it's like what we say in Portuguese. So it's not my fault, it's your fault. So pass the buck, it's exactly that. So I didn't need to study that. I just learned by expressing myself, by talking in an hour. So that's the point where being a host develops you more, because you are in charge. You are responsible for the meeting. You need to pay attention. I need to pay attention for an entire hour about Ricardo, Leticia, and Yasmin. So each of you, to make all of you speak. And as a host, you get trained. You get support from us to develop that. And you start as a host for beginners, and then you develop yourself. Depending on the situation, you can go directly to this immersion, or if you don't feel much comfortable, you start with the immersion for beginners, where you speak in Portuguese. You develop the conversation in Portuguese, but you ask the questions in English. And the person feel free to answer in Portuguese or English. But of course, if you speak always in Portuguese, that's, I guess it's not the goal of everyone. But you can do that. But remember, if you're speaking Portuguese, other people they want to learn English. They want to speak English. So, but everybody's free to do whatever you want regarding with respect and paying attention to other people's development. Okay, we still have 5 minutes. I'm gonna bring the survey. And do you want to add something else to finish the meeting, like another idea, something else, or if you want to reply back to Bonaldi, if you like it, the topic or not? I'm gonna make sure she is going to watch this part of the video.
So I want to say something that I remember when we are talking about data collection, that sometimes we don't know who we are, and we need to check this on our cell phones. So for example, what's my favorite music? I don't know. I need to check on my Spotify. And
Yeah.
this, I'm a little scared of this, because sometimes I don't know what's my favorite things, but my cell phone know, and
Yeah,
it's
it knows everything.
I'm a little scared of this.
Maybe in the future they're gonna sell us who we are. So I want to know who I am. So you go to whoami.com and then you buy the information about yourself, because they are going to do something. Yeah, capitalism, basically. Ricardo?
On talk and talk is typical, it's common. We is maybe could be facing a lot of questions, and this a lot of times you don't you never think about a specific topic or question. You don't think in Portuguese, so in this case it's hard to answer in English. Doesn't matter in English or Portuguese, because you don't you never think about a specific situation. So for example, which one is the best music or best song about Letícia told? Sometimes is someone is the best or the favorite song, but you don't listen so much, because sometimes it's boring when you listen so much the same song. It's the favorite, but another day, it's my best, it's the best for me. But particularly if you check on the Spotify, certainly you are listening more another music, because another songs, because it's more recently. So that's normal, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's no way back around what's happening. So I guess we need to develop laws and some kind of individual protections to help us out, So, yeah. Well, Yasmin, Leticia, nice to meet you. I guess it was the first time I talked to you. If you, please consider applying to be a host. You girls are more than prepared to do so. And Ricardo, thank you so much for another session, another meeting.
Thank you, my friend.
And yeah, you already subscribed as a host, so I'm going to send emails pretty soon about it. And thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. See ya. Bye-bye.
See you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
See you.
Bye-bye.